Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final day here, the final day of the Rongyi Cup Season 3 playoffs, the grand finals, grand finales here. I'm of course your host, Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and of course by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all, as this has been a month-long event. Jesus Christ. It's been a month long, going through the groups and going through the playoffs as well. The quarterfinals, semifinals, so we finally make it here to the grand finals. We have made it, and I do apologize for not being able to cover this live. If you recall, we actually went live with this event less than 2 days ago. We were live. The VOD is still on YouTube, and we were good to go, good and excited to cast it live, but unfortunately the lobbies were full. For those who do not know, in StarCraft you have a limit to how many people can be in the lobby, and we had casters from all around. We had Chinese casters, Korean casters, French casters, German casters, and unfortunately we were not, so there wasn't enough room. There wasn't enough room. Again, we're one of the smaller streams out there, so Rotterdam, Wardy, Steadfast, they were able to get in, and unfortunately we did have to settle for a replay cast instead. So it's not too long, it's not too late, I should say, in the sense that, you know, less than 48 hours ago is when these events did transpire, but this is going to be a replay cast nonetheless. And now we're here to jump into the best of 7. Let's go. Let us go. As we can switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket itself. Again, the bracket has been progressing throughout the course of the past month. We had the group stage initially, then into here the playoffs. We had herO taking down Showtime 3-1, taking down Solar 3-1 as well. herO, he was popping off throughout the course of the group stage, or the playoffs I should say, and likewise we did have Clem, Trigger, Creator, and Maru also, I should say, Maru also making it through. And we did have a crazy upset where Trigger did eliminate Clem. In my mind, it was going to be herO versus Clem. I'll be honest, I was looking forward to Clem versus Maru as well, as they have never played against each other in a tournament ever since we had Clem switch to Protoss for PvT. They've never played, and I thought that finally we were going to get some Clem versus Maru action, but no, never mind. Trigger did stand in his way, and Trigger did eliminate Clem early in the tournament. With that, Maru, he was able to breeze his way through the semifinals as well. He had a bit of a rockier series against Creator, a back and forth which did barely go the way of Maru. Shout out to Creator for holding his own. Then Maru took down Trigger, and now we have the grand finals, best of 7 between both herO and Maru. And we're going to jump in. We're going to jump on in here to crown our champion. Again, herO, he has been popping off. He's been popping off, and he has won every premier event that we've had over the past 2 months. The RSL offline event, the OSC Season 13 Championship, the Thunderfire Tournament, and now he is here to claim another. Maru does stand in his way. Maru, he is the best Terran player in all of South Korea. He's top 2 Terran in the world alongside Clem, and if anyone can stop herO, it would be a player of the caliber of Maru here. I'm ready. This is also going to be a bit of a rematch as well. If you recall, herO and Maru, they did face off in the grand finals of the RSL, not the offline finals in December, but they did face off in the finals of Season 3 of 2025. The final season before the offline finals was Maru versus herO, went all the way to the ace match, and herO barely clutched that out against Maru, but it was an amazing best of. It was amazing best of 7. It was very intense, very hype, and hoping that this lives up to that. Hopefully, baby, hopefully. As we're going to be loading into Celestial Enclave for game number 1. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. And here we go. Welcome all to Celestial Enclave. Celestial Enclave is one of the more vetoed maps of the map pool. It's a rare sight to experience the map, this map, I should say, but it's the best of 7, so less vetoes, right? One veto each in a 9 map map pool. So with that, Celestial Enclave did make it through, and herO opens up with a proxy in the natural of Maru. Oh boy, he's inside the base, baby. And this is something you can do on this map. The reason for this is because there is a worker mineral wall here in the pocket base. Basically, workers and only probes, drones, and SCVs can actually work through this, can actually move through this, and you can actually slip into the pocket base. This is a danger that you have to deal with as any player against a Protoss, and so far, Maru's in the dark. He's in the dark. We have 2 gateways on the way inside the pocket base. Maru going for an economic opener. Single gas, which means he's going for a faster CC, which means that Maru's going for a later factory, and everything's lining up. And he fakes the probe scout. herO, he went out, he went all the way around, and he's making it look like he's scouting for the first time. He's like, I've never been in here before. What the It's so nice what you have. Oh my god. Okay, I'll just leave. I'll leave. Everything is fine. He's going to be looking to delay and disrupt the CC as he normally would in a standard game. There we go. Does force the CC off center. Is already being pesky. Is already being annoying. And we do have our first Marine. And only the one Marine here to defend. Zealots are on the way. They're being cornered as we speak. And Maru, he is in danger here. Still has no idea what's going on. Now here comes a factory. Again, a later factory just because of the build of choice. And here they come. Here come those first 2 Zealots. The Cybercore's on the way. That will be for Stalker support eventually. To get into those Stalkers. Initially, though, it's going to be 4 Zealots. We're backing up. No, the Marine is out of position. The Marine does get dragged out. It's going to be Marine into Reactor. Or sorry, I should say Marine into Factory into Reactor. So only 1 Marine to defend. Zealots are moving in. And we're going straight for the middle line. Yeah, we're going straight for the Factory as well. If the Factory doesn't finish, that's game. Yeah, there's a cancellation. Oh, it's supply block. Was supply block for a moment there. Thankfully, some SCVs were killed. Factory's still in production. We do surround 1 of the Zealots. Yeah, 1 Zealot does get surrounded, but this is still critical damage here. 10, 11 SCVs going to be going down. The probe adding a little bit of DPS. Adepts are on the way, not Stalkers. I should say 1 Stalker does arrive, and he's going for the Marine. Yeah, he's going for the Marine. Soto sets back. Zealots are getting quite low. They're getting low, but oh my god. Now there's an Adept. And the first Hellion will arrive, but it's the damage though. The damage has been done. Critical damage here. 15 SCVs go down. There's 2 Marines left. I'll get it to 3. 3 Marines, but now we have an Adept. We have 2 more on the way. Down to 8 SCVs. Going for the Hellion. Ooh, Hellion does take a lot of hits. Marine's going to be going down. Hellion as well. And that's going to be game. That's going to be game. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played, herO. He does take a lead in the series. Again, herO, something cheeky that specifically you can do on Celestial Enclave because there's a pocket base and there is a worker path into the pocket base. And alas, he was able to pop off, get the proxy in, and make it look like he was going for a regular scout as well. Maru, he was none the wiser. GG. And this is one of the reasons why this map is often vetoed. This is but hey, no vetoes in the best of 7, or at least not enough. And with that, herO starts things off with a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can extend that lead. We'll see if Maru can bounce back as we load into Tourmaline. Now, I do expect the aggression to continue. Again, if you watched herO versus Maru in the RSL Season 3 finals, it was a lot of aggression. I think we had 1 macro game. In a best of 7, which went all the way to the ace match, in that series, we had 1 macro game in all those 7 games, and I'm expecting something similar here, where we have a lot of aggression, we have a lot of fast, quick, decisive moves, and then maybe we slip in 1 macro game. But here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Oh, here we go. So again, the first game, Maru getting caught with his what? With his pants down. The pants were down. This is a prime example of that, actually. The pants were down, was completely caught unaware, completely caught off guard, and that was game. That was game then and there. It was a mixture of, one, a cheeky, crazy, hyper-aggressive, cheesy build, but also of Maru not being able to scout, not being able to confirm, and Maru going for an economic opener. This time, do you see what I see? Double gas. Double gas opener. So Maru this time is going for a faster factory. This time he's going for a later CC. So this is considered to be a safer build. It is safer. It's also more tech heavy and also potentially more aggressive, just because you're able to get a faster factory, faster factory production, faster starport as well. herO chilling back at home, walling up on the low ground. Yeah, it does wall up, does go gate, cyber into Nexus. So going for a bit of a later Nexus here. Typically it's a gate expand. Likewise, setting up the wall in the low ground already, set it up in lane. Or even walling off the Reaper cliff, which is a little bit more common. Okay. Let's go. This is like a PvZ setup. It's the herO. The Zealot is going to skirt around the edge of the map. And then we can reinforce with the Adept. Now, unfortunately, herO, he pokes up the ramp. He, I believe, did see the second gas. He didn't see the gas guys, but he saw the gas mining. So he's aware it's going to be a later CC. He has to hold on to that Zealot. First Reaper moves out. herO pokes in. CC on the high ground. Oh, sorry, Maru's playing safe. Yeah, Maru's playing safe. CC's on the high ground. If it was on low ground, it would be exposed. It would be vulnerable. herO confirms CC is behind the wall. So this Zealot can't really achieve too much here. Reaper does scout, does confirm the wall off on the low ground. And the Zealot's going to chip away at the reactor at least. Remember, double add-on. We have reactor, we have a tech lab, no actual units here to defend. Reaper's racing back home. That Zealot's doing a lot of damage and denying some mining time. And the Stalker's on the way. Yeah, Stalker's on the way to deal with that Reaper. Reaper will manage to slip by. And does slip by. And Maru should defend. He should defend here. Does take some damage on his units. But he will deal with the Zealot. We'll deal with it. Cyclone's on the way. Oh, delays a CC. Not bad. Okay. CC is delayed. Nice damage. Second Stalker has arrived. Picks away the Marines. And can he delay even further? Ooh, sticks around too long. One Stalker goes down. Does he get both? Up! Oh my god, barely just one. One Stalker does get picked off. Nice catch there by Maru. Late reaction, late pullouts out of herO. Now he's setting up back at home. He is setting up. Have to say, if we have the safety shield battery. Robo in the main. It's interesting because I need to emphasize just how interesting the SimCity and the production buildings are here. As I mentioned before, it is a lot more standard for the Gateway and Cybercore to be in the main base. Because it's here on the low ground, it means that the Robo's in the main instead. It means that if Maru were to go for a one base all-in, or I should say, yeah, one base all-in, and he's making the factory, he's making the tank, the Viking, it looks like he will go for an all-in, it means that the Robo's safe. Usually the Robo's exposed, and a win condition here for Maru would be to all-in, to hit the natural, to break the natural, and to break the Robo. But the Robo is instead safe here. Yeah, it's safer, it's further back. Here we go, drop into the main base. We're soon going to be rallying on out with our tanks, with our Vikings, so hyper aggression by Maru, as we mentioned. As he does pick up our probe. Here is out of position. He's racing on over. Blink is almost done. Yeah, Blink is almost complete. Maru, he's aware of that. At the same time, he does distract. Reaper gets one probe kill in the natural. Two probes even. Not bad. Oh, one. There was one in the natural and there was one in the main. And checking Maru's vision, what has he seen? He has seen the lack of Robo. He saw, of course, the defensive setup or the wall off here at the natural. And here he comes. Two tanks, Vikings, pulls the boys, two base all in, or really one base all in, like 1.5 base. Like, there's barely any saturation here, barely any SCVs to pull. And it's all or nothing for Maru. It's all or nothing. Now, as I mentioned, because of the SimCity here, the Robo is going to be safe, so Immortal production will continue throughout the course of this all in. But that natural is also very congested here. It can be very awkward as the defending players actually maneuver. Yeah, tanks are sieging. Does go for the blink. Gets one. One tank goes down. Can he get the other? He can. Wow, both tanks fall, and that's the backbone of the army. Yeah. The surround. Jesus. Immortal gets surrounded for a moment. Pulls back to the shield battery. Yeah, the Immortal does pull away. And with that, Maru, he's running out of steam. He's running out of army. He's running out that. Nice juggling. Nice juggling. Nice control. Oh, but he blinks in. He blinks in. Dives on the medevac. Dives on the Cyclone. Cyclone goes down. Medevac goes down. And with that, Maru, he's running out of units. Running out of army. The all-in is failing. Yeah, the all-in does fail. The Immortal should be hunted down. Oh, sorry. No, I'm going to say tank. Tank should be hunted down by the Immortal. And he's coming. Tank, get out of here. Gets 1, 2, 3 extra shots off. And back at him, what does Maru have? He has one tank on the low ground. He has nothing in the main, so we could actually bypass the natural, head straight into the main base instead. Here he has options. He's got options, Pappy. As he just dives to the tank. 2 shots. He does 2-shot the tank. Tank goes down. Model gets chopped off, and the boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. There are a handful of Marines. Bunker goes down instantly as we deny the repair. Yeah, body blocking there from the Stalkers. And again, Maru, he should not be able to hold on here. He does have one more tank. We once again go for the dive. 2 shots a tank. And GG gets called. herO, he'll extend his lead 2-0 in this best of 7 against Maru. GG. GG, well played. Again, herO reading Maru so well when it comes to the reaction, when it comes to the build of choice. Again, Maru, he did go for the essentially 1 base all in, moving out across the map. herO, he was so ready for it though. Again, safety setup when it came to his robo, when it came to his mortar production. Likewise, proactive when it came to his stalkers, diving on top of the initial tanks. Remember, the first tank went down without getting a volley off. Second tank thereafter. Like, it was just a really brutal engagement there, really brutal all in from Maru. Losing those first 2 tanks as quickly as he did, that was game. That was game then and there when he lost his first 2 tanks. And with that, of course, he just petered out, didn't have enough steam. And now we're getting into game 3, and so far herO, he has a comfortable lead, but at the same time, these have been very chaotic games, and it's kind of what we expect out of these smaller maps. Once we get into the larger maps, then we can shift gears and we can start to expect something different, but for now, the aggression is going to continue. Up next, 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the more aggressive maps of the map pool. Smaller map, shorter rush distance. Aggression is favored on a map like this. Let's go. Let's go, baby, let's go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss, we have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. Whew. Here we go. So we're getting into game 2. And again, I will say that the first 2 games I don't think are really indicative of what these players have can bring to the table, especially in a longer macro game. But I don't know if we're going to get there. We'll see. For now, welcome to 10,000 feet. As we mentioned, this is one of the smallest maps in the map pool. It has the shortest rush distance compared to any other map in the current map pool, shorter than Ruby Rock, shorter than Tourmaline. So because of that, rallies can hit quite hard. What I mean by that is the distance. The time it takes for your reinforcements to get across the map is very short. I focus mainly on that because the base layout is pretty defensive. What I mean by that here is we have our natural, we have our third base. The third base is in front of the natural, so it does protect your natural base. We have high ground as the advantage as well. So trying to break this forward location and trying to break a 3-basing player can actually be quite difficult. Specifically though, in this matchup, you can siege up behind the patches here on the other side of the wall, and you can hit the mineral line. Oh, looks like someone was lagging. But tanks, they can siege up here. They can get within range of that mineral line. So hopefully the observers are okay. Hopefully. And we'll see our players open up. This time a much more standard setup here. We have herO walling up the Reaper Cliff, which is again a lot more normal. Walls of the Reaper Cliff. We have Maru going for an economic opener, a Rax expand, a single gas out of Maru. So economic start. herO scouting for proxies, and doesn't even probe scout across the map. Okay. Likewise, neither does Maru. No SCV scout. No SCV scout, which is a little more standard. It's a little more common to skip the SCV scout. Oh, Maru actually okay, going for an early add-on swap into early Cyclone. So this is meant to be a bit of a safer follow-up here, going to the Cyclone to keep that natural base safe. Meanwhile, herO does shift gears already. The standard is to open up Blink, but no, herO, he's opening up Oracle. Opening up Stargate into Oracles, can go into Phoenixes later on. This is a risky way to play. I mentioned earlier that all-ins can somewhat be favored here. Stargate openers are ideal when it comes to getting to a longer macro game. They can harass, they can gain some map control, and keep your opponent busy. If Maru were to go into a 2-base all-in, herO would have very little to defend. It would be very, very difficult to hold on to. We'll see how our players do adjust. As herO, he's aware of the Cyclone production. He sees the add-on. So hero's fully aware what's coming his way. Nicely timed shade. herO pulls out. Oracle's on the way. Remember, Maru, he skipped his Reaper. There was no Reaper scout, there was no SCB scout, so Maru does not know what's coming his way. Maru's playing blind. He's playing blind. Looks to be getting to his own Woodermine drop. Oh, no. My apologies. Does go for the add-on swap instead. So as Maru's playing blind, he actually sets up his Woodermine here in the mineral line, opening up Raven. Does open up Raven. Oracle's on the way. Bearing in mind the Woodermine is here on the left-hand side, behind the gas geyser. And does herO wander in? He's going for a carrier rush. That's a fleet beacon. He's crazy. I'm assuming carrier. This might... Okay, this could be a couple different things, actually. There's only one Stargate, so this could be for fast carrier, could be for fast Tempest, it could be just for a fast Mothership. Oracle breaks in, gets one, just one. Takes down one SCV, dips further into the main base, gets eyes on the racks. It's another SCV. Oh no, the mine shot! Ooh, brutal connection, and the Oracle goes down. Nice defense here by Maru, shuts down the Oracle. Behind this, getting into his own bio. Meanwhile, what is the plan here for herO? The fleet beacon is done, and we're going for the Tempest rush. Not going for the Mothership, not going for the carrier. Now, this is a Rebellion build. Rebellion does this against Terran. I do know that herO has been inspired by some of our other Korean Protoss players, like Lunacy, for example. Infamously was inspired by Lunacy. But yeah, Rebellion's got some crazy and quirky builds like this as well. Oh, the Korean Protoss players. They've been cooking, papi. They've been cooking. We're going for both. Mothership and the Tempest. And we'll see if herO can turtle up and bank up those Tempests. As herO goes for a very fast third. Again, this is all off of 2 gates. So 2 gates set up here, no blink and no other kind of supportive tech here. Just going for the expansion, getting cannons, shield batteries. Very greedy here by herO. But we mentioned something earlier about the base layout and the map layout. One, the map is very small, true, but because of the terrain, siege units can actually have some really nice positions here, especially if Maru does take the center expansion, not just the center base, but also into the main, right? Because of the mineral wall here, this entire area can be very awkward to engage into with a ground army. Tempest pushing in here do have a lot more freedom, a lot more breathing room to actually respond and kite away. So there are a lot of nasty positions here that Tempest can abuse if we can get into a high amount of Tempest. So far, only 2. herO is still vulnerable. Now, thankfully, Maru's not taking this line down. He is pushing. Maru, he has Stim. He has Stim. He has combat shields. And I'll be honest, I don't know if herO can survive this. Force field is going to be paramount. He scans. He sees for the first time. He sees the Tempest. He's got to go for the kill. He's got to go for it. Shells the force fields. And the army does rush in. Trying to throw down some force fields, but we should just stim. We should just stim and win. Yeah, the mineral line goes down, the base goes down. Tempest will eventually clean this up, but again, there are just so many Marines going for the slow zone. Okay. The mines. Ooh. Mine shots popping up. herO, he will defend, but again, at a cost of 6 probes and the Nexus. And with that, Maru, he has momentum. And here has to be so careful with these Tempests. He has to kite away. Viking production has begun. 1 Tempest, but does barely not go down. Alright, he wants to lure the army out into the open. These tumors are about to run out. Yeah, it's not safe. It's not safe enough for herO. He has no buffer. He has no support. Again, if Maru was more passive, then herO could have gotten away with this. Only if the Terran Brent was more passive. That's not Maru. He's an animal. There's the recall back home. herO, he will defend, but what's important here is that Maru, he's distracting herO, getting his 3rd expansion, and getting to mass Viking production. And the reality is that herO, he has no answer. He has no answer to mass Viking. Not yet. At this point, herO should not be able to punish this base. herO should just be stuck at home defending. It's just not safe. It's no longer safe for these Tempests to move out. It's not safe for them to be active. And the game is going to slow down. the game is going to slow down. We have another starport on the way here for Maru, getting into triple starport production, making 6 Vikings at a time. Let's go. The one piece of the puzzle that Maru is missing here are ghosts with the EMPs. But outside of that, Maru, he's responding well. Buenos días, la grasa. Hello, Heston GG. Bartholomew. Bartholomas. Este 007. We have a gateway explosion. Behind this going to mass charge loss. No storm. No storm, just zealots and archons. Again, thankfully for here, there are no EMPs. But there are plenty of Vikings. 15 Vikings back. Tempest getting called out. No, they're exposed. Yeah, Tempest exposed without the Vikings. 1 Tempest goes down. 2 Tempest goes down. And that should be it. Like, that should be game here. Nice slow zone on the bio. Vikings, they give chase. Honestly, there's only 2 Archons, so the Vikings, they just keep going. They can just keep pushing. And we're going to have a series. It's not going to be one-sided as the Mothership goes down, the Tempests go down, Vikings land, and Maru will look to put a point on the board. As down goes that mineral line, down go the Archons. There's 1 Archon left, a handful of Zealots, but again, plenty of fire, plenty of DPS. The Vikings, GG gets called, and Maru does fight back. We have a back and forth. GG, well played. Again, herO, a very greedy build here. And again, herO was heavily reliant on Maru being more passive, being more defensive. If Maru gave herO more time to establish that third base, different story. herO gets away with the Tempest, builds up his ground army, has a boosted economy, and we see potentially a different outcome. But no, Maru, he moved out, he scanned, he saw the Tempest, and instantly stimmed forward. Stimmed on in. GG. Whew. GG, well played. With that, we have somewhat of a back and forth, but the pressure is still on Maru to recover and to tie the series up. Let's go. Gonna be loading into Ruby Rock, another one of these smaller maps. Yo, we're just front loading this series with all the small maps. We're not gonna macro. It's not happening. Not yet. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Oh. We have the blue Protoss player. We representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. So settling into game number 4. And again, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock has a short rush distance by ground, not as short as 10,000 feet. True, not as short as 10,000 feet, but still on the shorter end. So reinforcements get across the map faster. The third base is also more exposed here. We do have a wide entrance. We have multiple entrances into the third base. We have an abusable location here in between the natural and third as well. If a 2-base all-in, if tanks can wedge themselves here in between the bases, they can just take over the map, take over the natural, and look to end the game as well. We have seen many an all-in on Ruby Rock, and we'll see if that trend continues here with Maru and herO. Let's go. I would expect to see a safe build out of herO, or see him be more assertive and be more aggressive, one or the other, like one of the 2 extremes. But now, gate expand. Gate expand into Cybercore, standard opener out of herO. Maru, likewise, single gas. Opening up ranks expand into the single gas geyser. As you can see, Maru, he's not going for the SCV scout, and he's skipping the Reaper as well. Even delaying the Marine. Just cutting all the corners, being greedy. And again, this is expected, especially from Korean Terrans, or just top Terrans in general, in TvP. Just cut those corners. Take the risk, baby, take the risk. And similarly to last game, we're going to be canceling the Marine, going for the Tech Lab, going for the add-on swap into early Cyclone. Cyclone is to keep the natural safe. From here, we'll keep an eye on whether or not we continue tank production and going to Vikings. If this turns into an all-in, similar to game number 2 on Tourmaline, we'll keep an eye on Maru. Not ruling that out. So we have our swap. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice from herO. This time, finally, we have a standard follow-up. Twilight Council. Twilight Council into Blink. The question becomes, how many gateways? 2-gate Blink, 3-gate, or 4-gate Blink Stalker? How greedy or how safe is herO going to be? So, eyes are on herO. So it could be opening up Widow Mine. This can lead into an Adder Swap into early Raven. Similar to last game, actually. Extra gateways are being thrown down. So far, we have a 3-gate setup. So 3-gate Blink. Safe play out of herO. We'll see if he throws down a Robo. Oh, okay. Going for the fake out. Despite having a tech lab, going for a medevac, not going for the Raven. Likewise, also faking Cloak. So cheeky moves out of Maru. Does mix it up. Does mix things up. Of course, does cancel. herO, he's going to be going for a 3rd base before Robo. So greedier build here from herO. Not the greediest you can go for, but again, does delay his Robo in favor of the expansion. So they don't quite scout each other. Hallucination into the main. Attempts to get a full scout off. And at least gets eyes on the production. The mine drop does slip by. Boosting into the mineral line, and now herO knows there was no Banshee. Now he's aware. And he's keeping up. But this is at least keeping herO busy. He's being kept busy. We have Maru going for a singular tank. Yeah, going for a singular tank, then switching into stim. So this is going to be an earlier stim timing. An earlier stim timing. Typically, as a Terran player, you do get up to, what, at least 2 tanks. One to cover your natural, one to cover your main base. But no, Maru, he is cutting corners. Once again, being greedy. He's cutting corners, being greedy. Earlier stim, earlier combat shields. Does mean that he is weaker defensively, but also means that he has a faster stim timing. Ooh, does go for the tank. Second volley goes up. No bunker. Yeah, no bunker. Tank goes down. Maru being punished for his greed. Losing the Cyclone as well. So far, let's pick up. Oh no, the sentry. Sentry gets left behind. Ooh, likewise, lack of blink set towards the end. Yeah, herO was distracted. 2 probes going down. Overall, I would say this was still a better trade for herO. Sniping the Cyclone and the tank. And the medevac as well. Some nice pickups. Yeah, bullying the Marines, and now we have a 3rd CC on the way. So Maru, he is building up into the mid game. But right now, he's being bullied. He's trying to hold his own. Ideally here, he wants to bait out a stim. He wants that Raven. Oh. Picks off 2 Marines. Volleys off on the Raven. Oh, Jesus. The Raven does get low. 1 Stalker goes down. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol out of herO. Got too excited. He's out of Stalker. Maru, he wants to bait the army in. Up. Oh. Nice snipe. Nice Widow Mine. And behind this, going to Storm. No Colossus. Storm is on the way. Picking away at more Marines. Jesus, how many Marines have gone down so far? 5. 5 Marine kills. Or he wants that Stalker. Oh. Doesn't get it. And clutch control there by herO. Pulls away. Storm is now done. Storm is ready. And we have 2 Templar waiting on top of the ramp. Maru, he gonna push in. But now just dancing with the Stalkers. herO setting up a proxy pylon, setting up a counterattack. He is setting up. Do you have a scan? Bearing in mind that Maru doesn't know whether or not it's going to be Colossus or Storm. So he's still a little bit in the dark. And Storm is revealed. So it's away, there's 3 more Storms. Oof. Decent mine shot. 2 Storms left. 2 Storms remaining. herO wants that Raven. Gets him all the way from the medevac. Tries to rotate in. Very nice armor shred. Ooh, but Storm does connect. Yeah, brutal Storm in the fire. There's still another Storm. Mainly the Marauders. Raven gets picked off. Medevacs as well. Oh, God. The Storms are brutal. The Storms, they just keep coming. Massive connections. Yeah, the army's deep in the red, and Maru's army's crumbling. Yeah, the Marauders are being one-shots. They're all going down, and herO has done it. He's breaking Maru. Yeah, the Storms were crazy. Zell's taking it in. The boys are being pulled. Maru getting desperate. He's getting desperate here. We still have more Storms. The Storms, they keep coming back. They keep coming. Ah, no. Storm turns away. Sniping both Widow Mines. And Mines go down. Another Storm on the ramp. And with the help of the boys, Maru, he might barely break out the star. There's another Storm. God. He's crazy, man. He's crazy. GG gets called as Maru gets stormed to death, and herO, he will extend his lead 3-1 in this best of 7. GG. Aye. GG, well played. Again, Maru, he had a bit of a harder early game here. As he mentioned before, he was kind of playing blind, didn't really know what he was moving into, but he was also cutting a lot of corners. We did mention how he did cut tank production, he cut bunkers as well. Maru, he was cutting a lot of corners early on for earlier stim and earlier bio, and he was punished. He lost his Cyclone, lost his bunker, lost his medevac, he lost his drop, and his Marines were just falling one after the other. Hyper aggression there by herO, impressive control, and Maru was punished for cutting all those corners early on. That's why he kind of stumbled his way into the mid game and didn't really have what it took, didn't have the army to actually move out across the map to actually apply any pressure. GG was just overly aggressive after a rocky early game, took some massive storms to the face, and everything very quickly snowballed out of control because of herO's setup as well. Reinforcements arrived that much faster with the proxy pylon and gateway on the top and south side. Crazy setup there. GG. Whew, GG, well played. And with that, we're going to be getting into our next game. Oh, a rare sight. Once again, vetoes are limited because this is a best of 7, but finally we're done with these small maps. Again, we expected a non-stop aggression on Ruby Rock, Tourmaline, and 10,000 feet. That's all we got. The maps, they kind of lean towards that, so we kind of have those expectations. Now we load into one of the larger maps of the map pool. We're going to be loading into Mothership, the most vetoed map in the map pool as well. Let's go. It's a rare sight. It's a rare sight. Rare sight's going to be loading into a 3-player small map instead. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner. Top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Go. Terrans love showering in storms. Ah, no. Not like this, Bappy, not like this. But yeah, we had some brutal storms there from herO. They just kept connecting with everything. Here we go. Now we're going to be settling into game number 5. And here's on match point. True, herO, he's one game away from claiming the series and becoming the Rongyi Cup champion. Maru has been struggling, but I should also emphasize that up until this point, it has been non-stop aggression, right? Like just really intense games, early game aggression, proxies, cheese, all that early game shenanigans, even herO rushing into Tempest earlier in the series. If you missed out, 10,000 feet was wild. Now on a larger map, we can slow things down. And I do favor Maru in a longer game. If Maru can get up to a 4-base setup, I favor him 100%. Like that is where Maru can be at his strength, at the advantage, but that's only if we can get there. And now that we load into these larger maps, there's a higher chance we could get there, but I'm a little bit concerned about Mothership. Mothership is, one, a 3-player small map, but also the bases are very spread out. the linear third base, the triangular third base, the forward center base as well. It can be difficult to rotate and to keep up with aggressing armies. So we'll see. We have seen many a PvT where the Protoss player gains full map control, takes over the rest of the map, and the Terran is struggling to get a 5th and struggling to maintain a 4th. But now, double gas. Double gas opener, a faster factory, a much more tech-heavy start out of Maru. Much more tech-heavy. As Reaper does move out, bearing in mind that Maru, he did not SCV scout, so he's looking for hero spawn location. He's looking. Back at home, we should be seeing a Twilight Council opener. I would say that I'm actually a little bit more fond of Stargate play here. If we were to open Stargate, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but we already saw it once on 10,000 feet, so I don't know if we'll see that again in this series. I do think that hero would have an easier time getting away with that here, though. Oh, okay, opening up Sentry. So Stalker into Sentry into early Hallucination Scouts. We have our take of choice at Twilight Council out of hero, going into Blink. Blink is on the way. Now, because this map is so difficult to be defensive on and to maintain a 4-base setup, there is a higher chance that Maru commits into an all-in. This also makes sense as to why hero does open Sentry, so we can try to get some scout information. So we can confirm what's going on. There's that hallucination. Reaper Heli does dive in. Yeah, it does go for the dive. Hallucination turns around. And again, getting a little bit desperate. We got a full scout, no damage yet. The first probe will eventually fall. It gets one. And not much else. Nice force field. Army gets cleaned up. 3 probes go down towards the end. Hallucination here is very late, as unfortunately hero did F2, so that did drag the hallucination back home. No scouting. Oof. No scouting information here out of hero. Hallucination was wasted, and Maru across the map is getting to his own 3-1-1 setup. There's the add-on swap into potentially Raven, potentially Banshee play. Shows what you got. Oh, Cloak Banshee for the first time. Okay. And again, where is that hallucination? We need a scout. As Mars dropping into the main. He's got a Cyclone, he's got 2 Marines. Hero is ready. Maru can potentially lock onto the pylon. So let's go for the pylon. Stalkers, they come down from the flank, from the natural. And have we had a hallucination scout yet? We have not. Where's... We have the sentry. Yeah, sentry's in the mineral line. Cloak Banshees are coming, and currently hero has no idea. And, okay, thankfully there is detection. There is a robo before expanding. Safe play out of hero. Does go for the robo. Banshee's on the way. Here he has detection, but the army's across the map, and again, Hero's still playing blind. It's Marine, not bad. Gets 1, 2, 3 Marine kills. Nice control here by hero. Banshee's moving in. Hero warping in Zealots. Cloak is done. And there are 3 Stalkers in the main. Okay, 3 Stalkers and an Observer. Here, he's in position. Yeah, the Banshee's gonna go down, gets 4 kills, only 4. Second Banshee gets spotted. So far, see your hero handling himself well. And now he can try to punish this. Gets another Marine. He can also blink into the main base. Remember that we only have 1 tank to defend. The main base is exposed. The add-ons. Oh. Hero otherwise distracted. Yeah, he's distracted by the Banshee. Banshee's moving out. Here, he's more concerned about finding the Banshee. Races back home to defend. And this time building up into Colossus, not Storm. herO, he does have 2 observers, but they're not in position. Stalkers are. It's still quite tense. Maru is expanding, and we are building up into the mid game for the first time this series. We're 5 games in. We're finally going to expand. It's happening. Maru's got his upgrades, he's got Stim, Combat Shields, +1. Maru's move back got spotted. As he moves out, he should be expanding. His orbital is morphing in. Just trying to get some breathing room. Banshee rotating into the main. There are Stalkers and Detection in position. Oh, actually, as he makes his way into the natural, interesting. Let's find some damage. Piece off a couple of workers, but the Banshee finally is going to go down. Gets 1 more probe, 2 more probes, 3 in total. It's okay. It's okay damage. What's important though is that because of these Banshees, if you remember, herO was stuck at home. If the Banshees got sniped, then herO could have gone into the main, could have denied upgrades, and we could have seen a very different game. But the Banshees did keep herO busy, allowing Maru to expand, allowing Maru to get into the mid game. Now he's got a solid tank count. He's got 4 tanks back at home, getting his missile turrets, sensor towers, turtling up on 3 bases. And I did mention something at the beginning of the broadcast and even coming into this game, how I do favor Maru if he can get into a 4-base economy. I do favor him there. If he can successfully turtle up and get into the mid to late game, that is where Maru is favored. That's what he does best. Outside of being chaotic. True. There's that 4cc. He's almost there. Now, as Maru's turtling up on 3 bases and thinking about getting a 4th base, the pressure's on herO to mass expand. Again, he's being left alone. herO has map control. As you can see, herO, he has map control, throwing down pylons, spreading out his army. herO, he needs to set up a greater economy. And the goal for herO should be to build up, get a greater economy, max out, and ensure that Maru doesn't get a 4th base. If herO can deny the 4th, then herO can win. Now, I'm a little bit concerned that herO is feeling like he wants to push into 4 tanks. Pappy, calm down. Pokes in, only pokes, but this is not the time to warp in and to try to commit into a wall of tanks like this. Now there's 5 tanks set up. 5 tanks, Liberators on the way. Zell's taking in for a flank. They're going to be shut down. herO, he's throwing away a little supply here. This is not it. This is not the time. Prism into the main. Maru's in position. And here he's going for it. Yeah, he's just committing. He's going to commit to the warp in. The army does push forward. But I don't see herO breaking Maru. It's not going to happen. Gets a tank. Yeah, only a single tank. A lot of wasted supply here for herO. This is not the time. And now what's scary, herO plummets in supply. herO just lost, what, 30 supply. And what that means is that Maru can now comfortably get a 4th base. This is when herO needs to strike. When Maru spreads himself thin, when he gets his 4th base, now is the time for the pros to move in. But now it's too late. herO, he wasted his army. It's too late. And now that Maru has a 4th, he can max. He can max out with a superior composition. Again, we got too excited, but we got too excited, and now herO's going to be forced into the late game. He's being forced in. We have disruptors on the way. Now, if we were casting Trigger, I do recommend watching Trigger versus Maru. I think it was game 1 or game 2, but Trigger had an amazing game against Maru earlier in this tournament in Rongyi Cup, where basically imagine imagine Trigger in this position, but Trigger didn't throw away all that supply. And now would be the time to throw down Stargates, Fleet Beacon, Tempest, right? To switch into Skytoss. Trigger, he was so quick to make that decision. Here, herO is committing. herO, he's still mass expanding, but he's choosing not to tech up and not to go into Skytoss. So he's sticking to a ground army. It's going to be a cheaper army. It's going to be an army that you can kind of waste a little bit more and kind of ape into. But this is very momentum based. Like here, he has to start denying bases soon, otherwise he'll just be outscaled. And part of this is double War Prism. I would imagine the goal here is double War Prism to try to hit like 3-4 locations at once. But it's taking so long. Okay, Maru's maxed. Maru, he's maxed out. Maru, he's reaching his final form. Now, when it comes to his army composition, it's still lacking. Maru is still a little bit too heavy marine focused. He's got a couple of liberators. He has two liberators, a couple of Vikings, sorry, a couple of ghosts, I meant to say. Ideally, Maru, he wants a higher ghost count and a higher liberator count. So Maru, even though he's max, he still has to perfect his army. He's still getting there. You have throwing down more CCs, getting a 5th base. This is scary. Maru getting a 5th does mean that he's spreading himself even more thin across these bases. Does mean that the base on the right hand side, for example, is more exposed. There's only 2 tanks covering this, as we have to spread out more tanks across these bases. Triple, okay. I thought herO was going to go into multiple locations at once, but no, he's just going to rush into the main. Triple Prism goes in. Main army just hit the 5th. The 5th should go down. Nova tries to zone. I'm going for the Warpin. Trying to, but here, Maru's ready. Yeah, Maru's ready for this. The Warpin does nothing. Maru pulls back, and Maru defends. And Maru, he shuts down the triple drop. Again, I appreciate it. Like, it was... it's very ambitious. It was very YOLO. Like, it was... But as the game progresses, it's getting worse and worse for herO at this point. Like, these moves, they're not paying off. They're not paying off. They're not doing damage. That's herO. Okay, he does recall. Okay, he recalls to the right-hand side. Recalls down on cooldown. He's going for the 4th base. Maru's army is out of position. We can maybe pick off some CCs here. Maybe. No shot against the planetary. Going for the tanks. He gets 1. Gets 1. Gets 2. Nova goes off. Zones away. Graces the army. Oh! There we get some decent Novas. Does get 1 CC. Going for the 2nd. Yeah, 2nd orbital goes down. Not bad. He gets 2 orbitals. Kills 2 orbitals. Kills 2 tanks. Meanwhile, Maru is perfecting his army, building up even more liberators. Oh boy. Now, herO still has a chance, for sure. It is just looking rough. But hey, if he can land some of these Novas. Okay, gets 2 ghosts. 2 ghosts get called out. A bit of a misrally here by Maru. And rough pathing. But the freedom has arrived. This is when everything changes. He has freedom. Yeah, liberators do siege up in an awkward position. Now they hold their own. herO rotates to the right hand side. He wants that planetary. Gets the liberator. Settles with the CC. Okay. Moves in. Takes down the sensor tower. Oh. herO almost exposing himself. Yeah, herO's gonna get caught out. He did overextend. Oh no! Yeah, it does have some control throws away every single disruptor. That's what 5-6 disruptors going down. The Colossus as well, and herO, he plummets his supply. Gonna lose everything. Again, he stuck around too long. He stuck around too long. He went too far in. herO overextended, and with that, Maru snowballs out of control. Bases will start going down. And again, as we mentioned before, Maru, he has the superior composition. He's got his death ball. Maru, he will not be stopped. Sets up the freedom zones. Okay, herO coming in for the surround. Yeah, attempts to surround, and Nova's going to be going up. Nice connections. No. As he once again moves commences Stalkers in. And here, sorry, Maru pulls out. Maru, he does pull out. He let out too much here to the surround. Now, because of that surround, Maru, he's burning through his bank. He's burning through that bank. So herO, he actually comes out ahead here. Comes out ahead, cleaned up the army. If he started losing this base and the southern base, I'd be more concerned. But no, he saved the expansions. He saved the bases, pulled off the surround. Like, again, this army that Maru's been building up, it's expensive. All these Liberators, Vikings, Ghosts. It's expensive. Here it rotates, going for the planetary. Can he knock it down? Decent Novas. There we get some decent Novas. Planetary does fall. But alas, there's still so many more orbitals. Take down one base, another does rise to take its place. Another orbital. Here rotates, going for another planetary. Nice Novas! Oh my god! Yeah, massive connections. Maru does take the Novas to the face. You can see how deep in the red the army is. We're getting messy, which is better for herO. We're getting messy. Triple Prism in towards the main. herO's once again going for the dive. Meanwhile, that's a lot of mules. herO rotates to the center. Maru's in position. And War Prisms are being denied. Oof. And not quite worth it, as a Prism will not finish. Warping is denied. Maru's holding. He's holding on. Oh, and Maru, he's rebuilding his bank. His bank is just gathering back up. He could do with extra gas mining here, and hopefully he does notice. Zealot Rabbis are attempted. Drop into the main base. Nice catch on Liberators. Gets one, gets two. Just one. Yeah, Zealots are still distracting. There's 9 Liberators. herO going for a mass DT warp in. Okay. Here come the DTs. While he's distracting, he's going for the planetary. Does blink in. No repair. And one more swipe does take down the base. Massive pickoff. Here he's doing it. He's knocking down bases. He's trying to. Oh, as Maru, he's breaking out. And we're going for a base trade. We're going for a base trade. Maru, he's going to knock down one base. Meanwhile, another planetary does fall. But Maru's main army is still terrifying. Maru, he's still maxed out. And here he has no gas. Yeah, he has no gas income. Here he can warp in Zealots and only Zealots. As here is racing back home. He's racing back home to defend. Here he's on how many gates? Oh, only 11? Oh god. Here he can't even warp in enough Zealots. Low gateway counts. Low gas count as well. Maru's knocking down more expansions. Again, here now pulls into gas. He needs that gas back. Yeah, no gas is taken here either. As we mentioned, he just doesn't have enough gateways. Like, he only had 11. As the army's trapped. Nice Novas. Okay. Novas are connecting. Catching out Ghosts. Yeah, more Novas going off. Oof. As Maru does take some massive Novas to the face. Here he does have to get out of here though. He's running out of Zealots, running out of Stalkers. Yeah, he sticks around a little bit too long. Just try to go for the warp in. Warp in is denied. And here he will lose his main. He'll lose the main base. Maru, meanwhile, he starts mining, so that's his production. Rallying bottom right. Oh, here he's recalling to his own main. No! Yeah, here he'll lose the entire main army. And Maru's going for the kill. Going for the kill. again, herO was playing from behind from almost the beginning of the game. Like, once Maru got his fourth base up, like, things were looking bleak, but herO made a game out of it. Made a game out of it. Had some nice moves, rotating, sniping bases. Towards the end, the lack of gas income did kill him, as he just couldn't rebuild. And of course, had some blunders when he move commanded, what, like 7 disruptors into the army. Like, that was that was brutal. Oh no, the Artosis pylon. Here he just has no gateways. Has no production. As Maru's just scanning, looking for more bases. Looking for more expansions. There's no rush, he still has an income. Similar to herO, Maru's lacking gas, as an empty gas guys are here, empty gas is here. So lack of gas is hurting Maru. Great minds, maybe. They think alike. I mean, Maru and herO, they are good friends. They don't like their gases back. As herO, he commits across the map. I mean, hey, he denies one of the bases. But he shouldn't really gain any more ground. And no detection either. We even have a nuke. Oh my god. And meanwhile, we have 13 liberators. Here, he cannot push into this. No shot. Yeah, here is going to be deflected. His crucial mining bases are going to be going down. Nice force fields. Oh gosh. But anyways, I didn't care about your force field. GG gets called, and Maru, he will put another point on the board, looking to tie things up. GG. Whew, GG, well played. As he mentioned at the start of this game, Maru, he's going to be the favorite player coming into these longer and later games. He was able to successfully turtle up and tech up on 3 and then 4 bases. We did see that early on, Maru gained a lot of momentum. If you remember what happened, herO, he was building up, he was maxing out, and he decided to try to break the turtling Terran player on a 3-base setup. If you remember, herO, he went for a Prism into the main, Zella run by into the third, and the main army in between the natural and the third base. And herO, he lost plummeted 30 if not 40 supply. It was just a little bit too soon. If you remember, we were talking about how ideally you want to wait for the Terran to expand, to spread themselves thin, and to have a bit of a weaker defensive setup there, as Maru took a 4th base. But Maru took a 4th base after he won those fights, right? After he won the fights, after herO threw away the army. After that, herO, he attempted time and time again to go for like the mass prism drops into the main base, the mass warp-ins. Wasn't quite successful. Things eventually got a little bit messy, and herO, he eventually found some damage, but by then it was just too little too late, and Maru was able to just take the better fights, better engagements. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, we're getting into game number 6, and Maru is 1 game away from forcing the ace match. herO still on match point. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss, the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go, as we are going to be settling into game number 6. Again, Maru, the pressure is on. He has to win this game to force the ace match. And coming into the Old Republic, this is similar, kind of. This is a bit of a larger map. Typically, this map is more favored towards Protoss players in the late game. Why is that? Well, coming into this, it is a larger map, that is true. We have a relatively defendable 3-base setup. We do have a wide entrance here into the third. The third base and the natural are spread out, but but more importantly, it's the 4th base. The low ground 4th expansion is very open, it's very exposed, it's on the low ground. You can assault from the right, you can assault from the left, you can get a full surround essentially, you can bypass and head towards the 3rd. Likewise, this linear 4th base is also very open. It's also very, very open, very spread out, very exposed. So turtling and defending as the Terran player on 4 bases and 5 bases, it's much more difficult compared to Mothership. If we're comparing the two maps, if Maru were to try to head into a longer or later game, it would be more difficult to defend for the Terran player for Maru. So the map has its own features, of course, and because of that, we're expecting to see maybe something more aggressive out of Maru this time. For now, double gas. Double gas opener out of Maru, going for the faster factory. In my mind, I don't think Maru wants to go into a longer or later game. At least not without getting a lead early on. True. Go. Oh, hello. As Maru does mix things up, going to be opening up Reaper Hellion for the first time this series. More often than not, we'd actually... Is this the first Reaper we're seeing? It's like we often do see Maru skipping his Reapers, going for the faster Cyclone, but no, here it's Reaper Hellion. Now, the goal with the Reaper Hellion opener is for economic damage. For now, we're scouting, checking for proxies. Hellions are on the way. The goal here is to get into a mineral line and to kill some probes. To take an early economic lead. Now, usually we see triple Reaper, double Hellion, but we can see here that Maru, he only opens up double Reaper, so very light commitment. Very light commitment here. Only 2 Reapers, only 1 Hellion. From here we're add-on swapping. We have a reactor on the way, tech labs on the way. Here we're throwing down extra gateways. Interesting. You have my attention. Getting up to 3 gate blink. Oh wait, no Twilight Council. Wait, what? My apologies. High gateway count, no council, no upgrade whatsoever. Okay, herO is being hyper aggressive here. In my mind, is going to go for an early move out. Otherwise, why get this many gateways this quickly? No, he's getting a 3rd. Wait, what? Did he forget the Twilight Council? Am I crazy? Like, did he just forget? Like, here he's banking 700 minerals, by the way. Now claiming his base. Like, we have the excess gas. Remember, he's warping in 3 Stalkers at a time. I feel like herO's got to move out soon. Going Robo first. Late tech. That's what, a 413 Robo. Okay. And now he's going for a delayed Stargate. So late Robo, late Stargate. A really awkward setup here. I'll be honest, I feel like herO forgot his early tech. I feel we'll see. With this almost looks like Nanomech. For those who remember, Nano's the Brazilian Protoss player. Nanomech was, you skip the Twilight Council and you go purely for, I say Nanomech, it's like a Protoss mech composition of like a heavy Immortal count, Immortal, Colossus, Skytoss. That's what this feels like. Okay, late Twilight Council. Does go for the late Council. But again, this is just really tech heavy here as the follow-up. Okay, well, yeah, we're crazy. We're just getting into everything. Why not? Why not? Let's get a Phoenix. Then get an Oracle. ¿Por qué no los dos? Get a Dark Shrine. But this is crazy. I mean, he'll be able to shut down the Mind Drop at least. Yeah, Madvac gets spotted. Drop comes in. Nice retargeting, very nice. Yeah, denying more mining time here. Being as annoying as possible. Medivac boost away, still retargeting. Jesus, we yeah, no, here he just wants to mine, Pat. He just wants to pull the workers away. Jesus. There we go. 2 probes go down. Este hero. But yeah, this is still not fully making sense when it comes to the build. Remember, it was an early robo into Immortal Observer, into a later Stargate where Phoenix is being built. This is delayed charge, so delayed charge into +1. It's just feeling very messy. We'll see if he can like settle down in the mid game. See if he can settle down. Meanwhile, Maru's just building up, getting a 13C, playing standard. Now we have the Bay on the way for Colossus. Okay. Let's go. Now, technically, I guess the third base is a little bit earlier than normal. It was still a third base after a 3-gate opener, and it was a delayed third as well. Because of the early move outs. Like later than he would have liked. But sure. Here does take the low gun expansion. Like, because of this build from here, I feel uneasy. Like, I'm feeling anxious for herO, Pappy. Like, ay. Maru, he does set up his third. herO, he will soon have charge. With charge, he can collapse in. He can go for the tanks. With these Phoenixes, he might even be able to lift. Uh-oh. As Maru does load up. Maru loads up, paranoid about jumping to the main base. Speaking of, Prism does slip into the main. herO's going in. He wants those tanks. It does go for the dive. He lifts level 3. Yeah, 3 tanks get lifted. Getting on top of the Cyclone. And it looks like he will barely bring down the tanks. They have 1 tank left. Ooh, mind forcing friendly fire. Does get all the tanks, but not good enough. Yeah, not good enough. He lost everything for the tanks. Ay. Maru holds. Maru takes the supply lead. He shot down the Prism. And that did have potential, but again, herO just barely didn't have enough. It was awkward because most of herO's DPS were in charge lots, but the charge lots weren't killing the tanks because they got lifted, and there weren't that many stalkers. Like, it was, it was a little bit messy. herO switching into Colossus, true. Colossus are amassing. And he does pick up a couple of straight units here, not bad. Couple Marines, couple Marauders. Remember, the tank count was reset. Boys are being pulled. Maru getting desperate. He is vulnerable. He needs a little bit more time. Vikings are on the way. And here he is on 80 workers. Like, he does have that boosted economy. He's just going for non-stop warpins. Now going for the dive. Oh my god. The mine shots, they shut down the Phoenixes. But again, the Colossus just blew their way in. Yeah, the Colossus, massive swaps on the Marines. Massive swipes. Marines are going down. And herO, can he break it? Can he break through? The boys. Yeah, the boys come in. The Colossus, they're so low. But herO, he's doing it. herO is doing it. He breaks through the main army. Oh, forced to recoil. He's going to lose the Colossus. Yeah, we'll lose the Colossus, but hey, Zealous is wreaking havoc. They're still wreaking havoc. They cancel the 4CC. 31 SCV kills, and herO, it looks like he will barely break through. Cripples the economy. Save the Colossus. And again, herO, because of the 4th base, he can just keep warping in. He can just keep warping in. He can just keep on pushing. And the goal here should be, never allow Maru to recover. GG gets called. Maru is broken. And herO will claim the series 4-2, knocking out Maru and becoming the Rongyi Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We did speak a lot about how open the fourth base was and how accessible the third base is a little bit more. I did expect to see most of the aggression at the fourth base, but no, herO, he just went for the kill, went for the throat there. Again, even though initially herO wasn't killing his opponent, he was doing enough damage to be able to slowly, eventually whittle away at the defenses. He was able to reset the tank count, able to get on top of the bio, and again, just keep warping in, just never really allow Maru to breathe, never allow him to stabilize. That was the goal there. That was the goal, and barely did break through. GG, well played. It was still a crazy build. Like, it was it was still very messy. I'm still not convinced that the build itself was like clean or was intentional with how it was all kind of coming together. It was very awkward, but hey, herO, he made it work. He made it work. GG, well played. Able to eventually break the defenses there of Maru, and herO will claim the series 4-2. Congratulations here to herO. And this is the big tournament that I was waiting for. If you've been watching the CranKy Ducklings, you've been here for the past couple of weeks, or for the past week, we have been bringing up the fact that herO currently feels like the best player in the world. If you haven't been watching or kind of piecing together what's been going on, we've had a couple of big major events with some hefty prize pools. Rongyi Cup, this was a $21,000 prize pool. Thunderfire, that was a $50,000 prize pool. Like, we had the RSL finals, we had the OSC season 13 championship. herO's winning everything. Like, herO, he is the OSC championship. That was what, a couple of weeks ago. He won the RSL offline finals in December. herO, he won Thunderfire. herO, he just won Rongyi Cup as well. Like, herO has actually won every like premier tournament with some pretty big prize pools over the past 2 months. It's crazy. I want to say I'm missing one. I think I'm missing one of the events. Like, it's Thunderfire, Rongyi Cup, RSL, OSC, and I think there's another. The one event that herO didn't win, which actually has a smaller prize pool than the other events that he won, was Home Story Cup, but he didn't go, right? He didn't go to Home Story Cup. That's the one event that did elude herO, which was last week. But let's have a look here. I want to say I'm missing one. Let me just double check. So Rongyi Cup, OSC, Thunderfire, RSL. Okay, no, that's it, yeah. So 4. So 4 big events, papi. Ay. He's crazy. And of course, like, online weeklies, which typically kind of like tell the story as to how good he's looking at the moment. But yeah, herO, he's won everything except for Home Story Cup because it didn't go. But yeah, herO, GG, well played. herO, again, he 3-0'd SCBoy at Thunderfire. Here he took down Maru 4-2, took down Classic in RSL. Like, these are tournaments with the best players in the world. Thunderfire was crazy, by the way. Went all the way to the ace match. I do recommend it. We cast that a couple of days ago. But yeah, GG, well played. Crazy. Once we 10 to 15 kills on each of the Colossus. Yeah, the Colossus, they were going ham back. Going ham. GG. Yeah, GG, well played. But yeah, herO, he has been popping off, claiming every single win as of late. Classic has also been improving or been performing well as well. And here are the final results. herO, he took down Showtime 3-1, took down Solo 3-1, and Maru 4-2 in those grand finals. As I mentioned before, coming into this event, I was expecting it to be a herO Clem finals, but Clem did get knocked out early by a trigger in the quarterfinals. Did get knocked out early on. When it comes to other big premier events that are around the corner, Pigfest, that is going to be around the corner. Pigfest is very similar to this event when it comes to the caliber of play. I believe it has all the top players. It's got herO, it's got SCBoy, Rainer, Clem, Solar, Showtime, Shin. Sorry, Showtime's not invited, but all the other top players, right? All the other top players, they are going to be a part of the Pigsty Festival. Likewise, RSL, the Revival StarCraft League Season 1 for 2026. The qualifiers are this weekend. So RSL is starting up, Pigsty Festival is starting up, and coming into March, we have Stara Zagora, which is the big offline event in Bulgaria. So there are 3 currently announced events that are around the corner, which are the kind of like the next big events that we're looking at. herO's been winning everything. Does that trend continue? Does that continue? Does he sweep up Pigfest and Stara Zagora and RSL as well? We'll see. We'll be there to find out. We'll be there to cast. But yeah, it's crazy just how much of a tear here has been over the past 2 months, specifically January and December. January, December, coming into February. GG. Whew. GG, well played. But with that, congratulations. With that, congratulations to herO. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up here for the evening. Just one series, just the grand final. Shout out to herO. I know he was posting on socials after this as well. Non-stop wins here for herO. And again, we'll see if that trend continues coming into the upcoming big major events. Pigsty, RSL, and StarCraft. Oh boy. Here we go. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. A little bit of a shorter broadcast here, but I mean, that's okay. Like, this is our second broadcast of the day. We were live with OSC earlier. That was a long cast. That was a lot of games, a lot of StarCraft. Again, this morning was the OSC League Rising Star tournaments. I do recommend checking out the VODs. We had some crazy series there. We just wrapped up with Rongyi Cup, and you can see that tomorrow we're going to be live with Homestory Cup. I just mentioned, but unfortunately, we've been the B stream for Homestory Cup for like the past couple of years. I was actually curious. I just checked. We've been casting Homestory Cup since Homestory Cup 21. So it's been a couple of years. But for Homestory Cup 28, we were not able to be there. We were unavailable, so we didn't get to cast it. So we're going to be catching up with all those replays. So Group A, we're going to be catching up with Group A of Homestory Cup tomorrow, followed by Group C and Group B, C, and D throughout the course of the week. Likewise, as you can see, this is our weekly schedule. At the end of the week on Saturday, those are the RSL qualifiers. The RSL qualifiers are going to be on Saturday and Sunday. You can only see two logos there, two qualifiers. We're going to be casting the Americas qualifier and the Korean qualifier. We will not be casting the European qualifier. It's just a little bit too late. It's a little bit too late for us. So we won't be covering the European one, but we'll be covering the others. So Americas and Korean qualifiers. Likewise, we have Pigsty Cup, we have Sparkling Tuna Cup, that's going to be tomorrow. We have the Wardy TV Monday, we have more Tuna Cup, we have the Pondcast, and more Homestory Cup as well. Again, we're going to be catching up with Homestory Cup. We also have to catch up on Lil Lee. Lil Lee Cup is going to be this week as well. True, that's another big major event. Massive brackets, a massive prize pool. So we'll be delving into that after, most likely next week, after Homestory Cup. We'll get there. Your Thermal Suture Circuit in June seems to have the largest prize pool amongst the upcoming tournaments. I think so. I want to say the prize pool is around 60k, like 50 to 60k. For those who are unaware, we do run the event. We run Thermal Suture Circuit. We don't cast it, unfortunately, because we're busy running it. We do work with Mark behind the scenes to bring that to you. So again, we were live, or we were working last night with the February edition of the TvP Circuit. And that's also something that we could cast via replays, but we're just booked up. We're booked up at the we have no room. We have no room, Pappy. We have no room. So maybe coming into March, or maybe afterwards, we'll get into the TvP Circuit. We'll get there. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up here for the evening. Again, we're going to be live in around 12 hours, in around 13 hours with Homestory Cup Group A with those replays, and likewise in 24 hours we'll be live with Sparkling Tuna Cup. We'll be live. Otherwise, if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our events on a regular basis. And as you can see, our Tuna Cups are finally returning. We're getting back into our regular broadcasting schedule. Likewise, if you see something they like here, if, for example, you missed out on Thunderfire, if you missed out on Rongyi Cup, if you missed out on some of these events, if you missed out on like the group stage or the playoffs, it's all on YouTube. !YouTube in the chat. Get a link to our YouTube channel. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft over on YouTube. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft for either Homestory Cup or for Tuna Cup. See you then, papi. See you then. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi. Ciao. Hasta luego.